Allow the children
It's okay. It's okay. Off your mind. It's okay. Off your mind.
Chai! Now wow, people wey suppose talk truth to power don't off mic. And if we talk, now 500,000 they go sama us, call them hate speech. But fear not, Maiyegun don't come. Him go torchlight every corner, nooks and cranny of all these bad people where they spoil our country. So my people make we laugh, oh, yo. Maiyegun don't come, oh, yo. My people make we shout, oh, yo. Maiyegun don't come, oh, yo. Maiyegun don't come, man of the masses, oh, yo. Maiyegun don't come, oh, yo. Maiyegun diary politico, yo. Maiyegun don't come, oh, yo. This one not the off in mind, oh, yo. Maiyegun don't come, oh, yo. And in the touchlight every corner, oh, yo. Maiyegun don't come, oh, yo. Okay, some people be they holla say they want the power. Chai, them be promise us say we go get light and power. Nah. Them hustle sote they can't get the power. But now they know they do anything with the power. Sure. Every day, dollar just they get the higher power over naira. Still them talk say make we off mind. But thank God say Maiyegun don't come. So my people make you laugh, oh, yo. Maiyegun don't come, oh, yo. My people make we shout, oh, yo. Maiyegun don't come, oh, yo. Maiyegun don't come, man of the masses, oh, yo. Maiyegun don't come, oh, yo. Maiyegun diary politico, oh, yo. Maiyegun don't come, oh, yo. This one not they off in mind, oh, yo. Maiyegun don't come, oh, yo. Person where they do evil, no one make person talk. Them say that Maiyegun, that man too they talk. He too they talk. Say Maiyegun diary, he they hot like pepper. But every day then they take money in bulk. Woman picking, they the street they hawk. Still them talk say make we no talk. But thank God say Maiyegun don't come. So my people make you laugh, oh, yo. Maiyegun don't come, oh, yo. My people make you shout, oh, yo. Maiyegun don't come, oh, yo. Maiyegun don't come, man of the masses, oh, yo. Maiyegun don't come, oh, yo. Maiyegun diary politico, oh, yo. Maiyegun don't come, oh, yo. This man not the off in mind, oh, yo. Maiyegun don't come, oh, yo. Aha. Na him na don.
Hello there.
Maiyegun làwa mọ̀ làmọ̀ tó dòdòdò.
Maiyegun diary, Maiyegun number one.
Maiyegun làwa mọ̀ làmọ̀.
Yeah, good morning to you, good afternoon to you, and good evening to you. This is Maiyegun live, and it is also Sunday sermon. But I am testing out some new equipment, including the camera, the microphone, and the rest of them. Please let me know if everything is perfect on your screen. If you can hear me loud and clear, please share this broadcast. Invite your friends, invite your not so friendly friends, and tell them Maiyegun today.
Maiyegun diary, diary politico.
Maiyegun diary,
Godfatherism, kò sí lọ́rọ̀ Maiyegun.
Maiyegun diary,
ẹ farabalẹ̀ sẹ́ o kẹ́kọ̀rọ̀ lẹ́nu.
Maiyegun diary,
Thank you.
Maiyegun làwa mọ̀ tó dòdòdò.
Maiyegun diary,
Kindly let me know before we get fully into it. Share the broadcast as well, like it, and subscribe.
Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Maiyegun today.
Did I see somebody say perfect?
ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn làkì
Maiyegun ti dé.
àní ẹ̀sùn làkì
Maiyegun ti dé.
lórí Facebook
Maiyegun ti dé.
àní ẹ̀sùn làkì
Maiyegun ti dé.
lórí YouTube
Maiyegun ti dé.
àní ẹ̀sùn làkì
Thank you.
Maiyegun ti dé.
wọ́n bàbá gbé wúrẹ́
Maiyegun máa wí.
àní ẹ̀sùn làkì
Maiyegun ti dé.
jíjó ìgbádìyẹ
Maiyegun máa wí.
àní ẹ̀sùn làkì
Maiyegun ti dé.
pẹ̀sìdó bá rú sí òru
Maiyegun máa wí.
That's what it looks like on
àní
my
ẹ̀sùn
phone.
làkì
So it means it's perfect.
gómìnà gbówó jẹ
Maiyegun máa wí.
àní
Thanks a
ẹ̀sùn
lot for joining me, and you are welcome to the Sunday sermon on Maiyegun's Diary Politico, the 28th of May 2023, the day that Buhari gave his, what you can call the valedictory speech, his final speech as the president, the worst of the worst human to lead a country ever. And even at the last minute, dying minute of his inglorious, what have you, he is still lying. He said he is leaving Nigeria better than he met Nigeria 8 years ago. He also kind of massaged his own ego by saying he just gave you the best election ever. For the first time, you Nigerians, you are able to elect your leader. I mean, at the dying minute, not even a single truth. Right. So this morning or this afternoon or this evening, depends on the time you are watching this, yeah, we will continue to remind those who are suffering from the Stockholm syndrome and the likes of those who are going to gaslight everyone. Because according to the Buhari, now you, the opposition, from the word go, you called them incompetent. And because you called him incompetent, that is why everyone have been seeing Buhari as incompetent. But if you look inward, according to him, he is leaving Nigeria better. Baba Wiri. Share this broadcast.
Maiyegun ti dé.
Maiyegun ti dé.
For today, first of all, I want to say thank you to every one of you who made this transformation possible. I can't imagine what this look like on your big screen. If you are watching it on big screen, you should be able to tell the difference. But I haven't even finished the setting up of some of the equipment. But currently, I can see the difference. So thank you to all of you. Now, this morning, Buhari read a speech, and they call it the final speech. Now, final speech, just like the first one that was meaningless, nothingness. I'll remind you of that. Remember that I belong to nobody, I belong to everybody, blah, 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 nonsense, right? This.
I intend to keep my oath and serve as president to all Nigerians. I belong to everybody and I belong to nobody. A few people have.
Now, because the Sunday sermon today is just going to be a peep into what is going to be a week-long expose on what Buhari has done. Maybe all of you don't know, but with the Stockholm syndrome in Nigeria, you will soon begin to eulogize him because you are about to witness the worst, something worse than Buhari. You're about to witness that. But before they begin to polish him and, sort of, paint him in their usual bubble, lies, we'll keep putting this out there. Now, Buhari came in in 2015. And as you all know, and possibly still remember, Nigerians were so angry, raging at the government of the time, Goodluck Jonathan. And you know most why? It was because, one, the economy was almost tanked. Jonathan was borrowing money to pay salaries secretly. The Boko Haram terrorists, they were gaining enough strength at the time that a lot of you were so shocked to see that Nigeria for the first time was vulnerable. Like Nigeria was exposed. The respect and regards that Nigerians had for the Nigerian army when it comes to, like fighting and all that, started evaporating. Some people felt like something needed to be done, and they brought in a kleptomaniac criminal, a coup plotter, a coupist. And those who brought him in were the strange bedfellows, bunch of criminals with record crimes against Nigeria in different capacity. Now they decided that they wanted to rescue Nigeria, so they brought in a coupist who actually have no clue about anything other than just ego tripping, stealing, and every other negativity that Nigeria currently is battling with. He's just wanted to be president. He tried the first time, the second time, the third time. Then these strange bedfellows found him. They wanted to rescue Nigeria. Those who tanked Nigeria, they wanted to rescue Nigeria. And Goodluck Jonathan was an easy scapegoat. Before Nigeria become Syria, Jonathan must go. It was an easy sell. Pastor Ruga, the apostle boy at the time, was everywhere. Motivating here, motivating there. By the time they came in, the Boko Haram in the northeast of Nigeria, right? They are confined there. Started there expanding. And before you know it, they started, opening different other branches. Man, they changed name from Boko Haram to ISWAP 1, ISWAP 2, Ansaru this, Ansar, you know what I mean? Like about 4 groups, deadly terrorist groups. Now they are no longer limited in the northeast of Nigeria. A general, according to those who sold you the bobo then, what Nigeria needed at the time was a general to fight the war physically, a pastor to fight the war spiritually. That was the change. But rather than it to abate the problem, it escalated it because it became an industry under these rogues. As they are milking Nigeria and the dwindling resources of Nigeria in the name of buying weapons to fight terrorists, they are handing those weapons, they are handing them over to the terrorists in the name of Boko Haram invaded military barracks. So from people being so alarmed that some people had the audacity to kidnap over 200 school children in Nigeria, impossible. The worry made them feel like, no, not again. Before these terrorists will now take over the entire Nigeria, they didn't know that they were actually inviting the real terrorists. Today, after 8 years, Nigerians that used to be so alarmed, 200 people kidnapped in Casino, 250 children kidnapped in, Kagarao or Kankarao or Dapchio. And then you begin to hear, Che, do you want Buhari to carry gun and fight them? What do you want him to? We know that you don't even like him before. We know that you hate him. So because you hate him, anything he does, you will never actually support him. Guy, he hasn't done anything. People have been kidnapped. People have been killed. But is it today that people are being killed? Everything Buhari, everything Buhari. Before you know it, Nigerians became insensitive to horrible, horrible news that used to keep them awake at night, even though they were not the immediate victims then. You know how they did that? While the terrorists were spreading in Nigeria, the Nigeria military, the hierarchy, they gave this particular order, right? That the Nigerian soldiers must step down. And they were like, okay, go here and fight. Go there and fight. While the others were like destroying this part. Now let's make a distraction. And before you know it, Nigeria became a killing field. The military, the military chiefs, they were making a kill, money. The terrorists, right? As they were cashing out on their weapons from Nigeria Armory, they are also cashing out cash from Nigerians that have become victims of kidnapping. Now, here is where things got even worse. Before 2015, every topic, if they discuss anything in any part of northern Nigeria, including middle belt part of Nigeria, if they are discussing about Nigeria, in that conversation, security and the insecurity in northern Nigeria, especially the northeast, have always been the top priority. Nobody in northern Nigeria that wasn't concerned or interested in what was going on. It got so bad that they accused Jonathan of using Boko Haram to kill them in order to reduce their population. They used it as a campaign. So this was an easy sell for Buhari. They said Buhari destroyed some terrorists in 1984. Terrorists who were using bows and arrows. So therefore, the Buhari, a northerner, a Muslim, who told the North that Nigeria could keep them safe. Now the Nigerian government chose not to keep them safe in northern Nigeria. So it was an easy sell. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm even coming. Right? Buhari came in. The number of people in IDP camp. IDP is the fancy name for refugees. You know, when country fight wars, you will see civilians who are escaping from the war zone to another country. They call them refugees. In Nigeria, APC, Egbekegbe, they campaigned with 1 million Nigerians are living in refugee camps in their own country. They are refugees displaced by terrorists in their own country as refugees. And they said that's unacceptable, unbelievable, unacceptable. That was 2015. Today, they have more than 5 million Nigerians who are internally displaced because of terrorism. Under this government, 8 years, more than 5 million Nigerians are now living in refugee camps within Nigeria. Now, hear this, over 1 million Nigerians are refugees in Chad, in Niger, in Cameroon, in Benin Republic. Pobe. Nigerians, and these were not people who left their places because of any natural disasters. They left because within the 8 years of Buhari, more northerners were killed, displaced. More children and school children were kidnapped, never to be seen again. In 8 years. So the northern Nigeria that the terrorist sympathizers, terrorist sponsor, those who are behind the real terrorists in Nigeria, all for power, killing their own people, all for power. When they finally got the power, they had nobody to blame again. So they told Nigerians to get used to them. Get used to them. Don't be Fulanophobic. Don't be Islamophobic. Why are you like why are you so worked up? Because a Fulani terrorists want to take over your land. What are you even using the land for? They started blackmailing people to accept the terror. That if they want the terror to go away, they must accept the terms and conditions of this terrorist. Baba, for the first time, terrorists, they do interview with BBC. More people kidnapped, more people killed, terrorists became kings. Under these criminals, activists are being sent to jail because they were asking them to do the right thing or get out of that place, right? They are being sent to jail. But terrorists are receiving red carpets under APC. If you complain about it, you will be arrested. I'm not joking. I mean, I'm just trying to remind you of all of this. 8 years seems to be like yesterday. A lot of you who survived it, listening to Buhari reading out lies there means that he actually lived in that bubble for so long and they are about to gaslight you for it. Terrorists were doing interview inside government house. Sheikh Osama bin Gumi was everywhere meeting the terrorists, the same terrorists that Nigerian security agents could not find. All of this happened under Buhari. They said we should give them land. We started hearing repentant terrorists. All they had to do was to say, yeah, I repent. Even though I kill people, I repent. No single terrorist is arrested. The excess crude account of Nigeria got depleted. Buhari went to America to go and earn almost $600 million US to Donald Trump because they wanted to buy weapons to fight terrorists that they would never fight. They are not really fighting them. So today, the northern Nigeria, at a point, Buhari told the World Bank that the southern Nigeria is fine. Every of their project they are bringing to Nigeria, including any of their loans and all that, right? They should concentrate on the northern Nigeria. But about 8 years after that, they have more children out of school. They have more, even like those who are graduates and unemployed, right? They have more people living in poverty. They have more people living in a refugee camp in Nigeria. And guess what? The criminals who have done this all to them, they still don't feel any remorse. And they are about to, put it that way. So I'm going to play a first part of Buhari's nonsense, okay? And then I'm going to speak on. Take a listen.
Television Authority, NTA. As Nigeria transits to a new political dispensation, we now bring you a farewell address to the nation by His Excellency Muhammadu Buhari, President, Commander-in-Chief of the Armed Forces, Federal Republic of Nigeria.
Expectation was not misplaced because, like the ordinary Nigerian, I had grown tired of watching the country progressively moving away from the path of correctness. To ensure that our democracy remains resilient and our elected representatives remain accountable to the people, I am leaving behind an electoral process which guarantees that votes count, results are credible, elections are fair and transparent, and the influence of money in politics reduced to the barest minimum, and Nigerians can elect leaders of their choice. We are already seeing the outcome of this process as it provided an even playing field where persons without any political godfather or access to money defeated other well-resourced candidates. The Nigerian economy has become more resilient due to the various strategies put in place to ensure that our economy remained afloat during cases of global economic downturns. You would all recall the supply chain disruptions and economic downturn that the world witnessed between 2020 and 2022 as a result of the COVID-19 pandemic. The depthness of our response to the pandemic still remains a global best practice. Furthermore, we increase the ability of the poor and rural Nigerians to earn a living, provide more food for millions in our villages, and gave our women opportunities to earn a living. Young men and women in urban centers were also supported to put their skills into productive use. Our administration also provided an enabling environment for the private sector to engage in businesses for which their return on investment is guaranteed. The private sector proved a strong partner in our drive to build a resilient and sustainable economy, as evidenced by the growing number of turnkey projects in various sectors of the economy. In the course of revamping the economy, we made some difficult choices, most of which yielded the desired results. Some of the measures led to temporary pain and suffering, for which I sincerely apologize to my fellow countrymen, but the measures were taken for the overall good of the country. Mindful of the need to ensure adequate infrastructure to drive economic growth, we completed age-long projects and processes, notably among which are the Petroleum Industry Act, completion of some power projects, completion of Second Niger Bridge, and various important roads linking cities and states. Expectation was not misplaced because, like the ordinary Nigerian, I had grown tired of watching the country progressively moving away from the path of correctness.
You hear that's Buhari. Now, like I said, a kind of live in his own world or intentionally acting that way, or maybe, just maybe, at least he's human, he has a mental problem. Like he's actually a madman. Do you understand what I mean? Like, to start with, right? Lying compulsively, right? Or lying in the face of opposing facts, and then going ahead to kind of tell yourself that, well, yeah, you know what I mean? Is either you have a mental problem, it is a mental problem. So Buhari is mad because the figures and the numbers, the facts out there are not backing all the nonsense he just spewed. Now we'll pick some of them that I can remember so that, take a look at this. Debt service to revenue. And then take a look at the economy itself. Let's pick the economy. I think I'll start with that. Buhari met Nigeria economy. According to them too, when they rebased Nigeria economy, they said Nigeria economy was worth over 500 billion. And you know how they do that? They look at one, foreign FDI, foreign direct investment, as well as the internal. Oh, hang on, I've got a bit of interruption there. Let's see what happens. Just a moment. I told you I haven't sorted the whole fixing anyway, so I'm going to keep getting used to that. Meanwhile, economy. When Buhari came in, the number of unemployed people, according to their data, was 13 million people. However, in a space of 8 years, you see that economy of over 500 billion has shrunk to, it is still the biggest in Africa, according to the record, though. It has now shrunk by 160 billion, which means Nigeria's economy is now hovering between 340 and 360 billion worth. And why? The numbers could tell. One, in 8 years, Nigeria actually faced, oh my God, what's that? Give me a sec. Ah, that's so disappointing. Give me one moment.
The depthness of our response to the pandemic still remains a global best practice. Furthermore, we increase the ability of the poor and rural Nigerians to earn a living, provide more food for millions in our villages, and give our women opportunities to earn a living. Young men and women in urban centers were also supported to put their skills into productive use. Our administration also provided an enabling environment for the private sector to engage in businesses for which their return on investment is guaranteed. The private sector proved a strong partner in our drive to build a resilient and sustainable economy, as evidenced by the growing number of turnkey projects in various sectors of the economy. In the course of revamping the economy, we made some difficult choices, most of which yielded the desired results. Some of the measures led to temporary pain and suffering, for which I sincerely apologize to my fellow countrymen, but the measures were taken for the overall good of the country. Mindful of the need to ensure adequate infrastructure to drive economic growth, we completed age-long projects and processes, notably among which are the Petroleum Industry Act, completion of some power projects, completion of Second Niger Bridge, and various important roads linking cities and states. Our battle to ensure that all Nigerians live in a safe and secure environment have achieved considerable results. As I complete my term in office, we have been able to reduce the incidences of banditry, terrorism, armed robbery, and other criminal activities considerably.
No be madness be that. Again, I apologize for that interruption, right? The whole thing is so technological, right? But I think I was supposed to put it on video. I kind of left it on just picture or something. So it may go off again. I just apologize, okay? I will fix it before evening. Trust me. But you're going to see the full clip later tonight as well, right? So the economy shrank. People lost their jobs. Over 4 million businesses left Nigeria or just died. Do you know what that means, right? Businesses that existed before Buhari. Right. I think I get what's going on. Yeah, something is actually pulling it off here. A moment. That's so sad.
The depthness of our response to the pandemic still remains a global best practice. Furthermore, we increase the ability of the poor and rural Nigerians to earn a living, provide more food for millions in our villages, and give our women opportunities to earn a living. Young men and women in urban centers were also supported to put their skills into productive use. Our administration also provided an enabling environment for the private sector to engage in businesses for which their return on investment is guaranteed. The private sector proved.
Anyway, you know something? I'm sorry, right? I'm going to put this on hold, get things sorted, and give you an exclusive tonight. I'm sorry. Yeah? I don't want it to keep going off and on. I need to sort that out. I know what is it that is. You know what I mean? So everything else seems perfect, but not when I keep getting interrupted. I think that's why I got the new camera in the first place anyway. So thank you. I will see you later tonight. I'm sorry. Very sorry.
dòdòdò.
Maiyegun diary náà ibi nọ́mbà wán.
Maiyegun ti dé o ọ̀rẹ́ ará ìlú.
Maiyegun diary náà ibi nọ́mbà wán.
Lórí Facebook lórí YouTube.
Maiyegun diary náà ibi nọ́mbà wán.
Gbogbo bó ṣe ń lọ ni Maiyegun já wa sí.
Maiyegun diary náà ibi nọ́mbà wán.
Àṣírí ọ̀jẹ̀lú kì í bò níbẹ̀ o.
Maiyegun diary náà ibi nọ́mbà wán.
Bó bá ṣe eré àní Maiyegun máa wí.
Maiyegun diary náà ibi nọ́mbà wán.
Ó sì tún ṣe eré wàá gbọ́ níbẹ̀ o.
Maiyegun diary náà ibi nọ́mbà wán.
Maiyegun diary politico.
Maiyegun diary náà ibi nọ́mbà wán.
Godfatherism kò sí lọ́rọ̀ Maiyegun.
Maiyegun diary náà ibi nọ́mbà wán.
Ẹ farabalẹ̀ sẹ́ o kẹgọ́rọ̀ lẹ́nu o.
Maiyegun diary náà ibi nọ́mbà wán.
Àní Maiyegun làwa mọ̀ tó dòdòdò.
Maiyegun diary náà ibi nọ́mbà wán.
Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Maiyegun ti dé. Maiyegun ti dé.
Ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Maiyegun ti dé.
Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Maiyegun ti dé.
Lórí Facebook.
Maiyegun ti dé.
Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Maiyegun ti dé.
Lórí YouTube.
Maiyegun ti dé.
Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Maiyegun ti dé.
Bọ́ bàbá gbé wúrẹ́.
Maiyegun máa wí.
Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Maiyegun ti dé.
Ijó ìgbádìyẹ.
Maiyegun máa wí.
Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Maiyegun ti dé.
Presido bá rúfin o.
Maiyegun máa wí.
Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Maiyegun ti dé.
Bí gómìnà kówó jẹ.
Maiyegun máa wí.
Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Maiyegun ti dé.
Ọlọ́pàá tí ń darí bá.
Maiyegun máa wí.
Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Maiyegun ti dé.
Aṣòfin tí ń rúfin o.
Maiyegun máa wí.
Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Maiyegun ti dé.
Òpùrọ́ olóṣèlú.
Maiyegun máa wí.
Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Maiyegun ti dé.
Ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Maiyegun ti dé.
Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Maiyegun ti dé.
Maiyegun ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Maiyegun ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Ṣùgbọ́n ní bá ti ṣe èyí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe, ọmọ bá dèrò ní fi wọ́n níran o.
Maiyegun ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Maiyegun ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Ṣùgbọ́n ní bá ti ṣe èyí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe, ọmọ bá dèrò ní fi wọ́n níran.
Wọ́n fowó bẹ́ẹ̀ o, Maiyegun ó sọ pé wọ́n ò fẹ́ bẹ́ẹ̀. Wọ́n fowó bẹ́ẹ̀, Maiyegun ó sọ pé wọ́n ò fẹ́ bẹ́ẹ̀. Oníkan ṣáà ti ṣe.